Status reports, everybody.
What did you do, Rob?
Still continue to help Tom with his book and finding lots of things that need improvement and making lots of progress, but still just the only thing we're seeing is better results from Tom, but it's working well.
Okay, next we have me. Let's see. I helped some of this people who are working on Sage Math Cloud to make it so you can reorder the files and projects. And then I also did some work merging patches for BUP. Okay, next.
I also worked on merging the patches for BUP and trying to improve the performance there and making some progress, but still more to do.
So I gave a little report this morning in the other room about what I did yesterday, so if you're watching these videos on the internet, you can just go watch that one, and now today I'm just documenting stuff that I wrote the other days.
I gave a talk this morning. I talked to some people about some upcoming conferences, made some interacts, and that's about it.
I went to the talks this morning. I built Sage on this machine for the first time.
Did it finish?
Yeah, it did.
Nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with Tom about the ODE book, and I spent some time reading about the marvelous on-the-fly construction of categories in Sage to make some things run.
Cool.
William
sorry.
Paul from Cal State Dominguez Hills. I just arrived last night. This afternoon, I look at two things. One thing is this matrix space function in Sage. I try to make it return a vector space. Currently, it does not. And it looks difficult. Probably need some help from you guys. The next thing I looked at is Rob's math book XML. I was playing with the XSL code and add Sage tag to it, so it runs.
Yeah, great.
Oh, cool.
So as Rob said, we're making good progress on the abstract algebra book, and as TJ said, we had a conversation and got some direction for the differential equations book and XML.
Okay. Yep.
I've been basically trying to figure out why Live Singular doesn't handle rings where the base field is fraction field of some polynomial ring. And so far I have not had so much success, but trying to figure out what happens.
What's the motivation for that?
I want to implement commutative graded differential algebras, and in order to do that, one application for that is to check where some parameters, for which values of the parameters the cohomology jumps.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, we need to work with parameters on the base field.
Okay. Cool. Oh,
Travis.
by the way, the author of Live Singular should be here in like a couple of days.
Great.
Like 2 or 3 days. Martin Albrecht. So.
Today Travis already gave me a crash course in Sage's category framework and implementing new algebraic structures, so I've just been playing around with that, and currently about 4 hours into building Sage on my machine.
4 hours. Cool. Should be done within the next 2 days. Okay.
I've been collecting names for people that we can conduct phone interviews with later this summer, and I updated the SMC survey.
Cool. Thank you. I want to look at that. Okay, Andrew?
I've been working on build-bot stuff still trying to get it as a replacement. It's unfortunate because there's an API that is essentially undocumented that we want to use. Thankfully, it's relatively simple, so from what I can tell from reading the code, but there's going to be a bit of work involved in it just because we don't want patches to take forever, because you don't want to build an entire install of Sage for each and every patch that's uploaded, so there's a bit of work involved in all this. And also the track code is a little bit ugly at the moment, so.
So Billbot's in Python?
Yeah, BuildBot is written in Python, so.
Andy?
I worked on resizing project tabs on the website and then documentation.
Okay. Yep.
All right, I made some more progress on the project publishing. Kind of went down the rabbit hole with CodeMirror. It's more complicated than I thought. That should be done, or at least presentable, if not today, then hopefully tomorrow. So that's the main thing.
Nice. Very nice.
I worked on making SMC tabs sortable and some other tab interface stuff.
Getting rid of a pixel. Okay.
So I spoke with a number of people today, which was fun. But the main thing that's been going on is that I've been sitting here and kibitzing with John, putting together this web work problem where students are given 6 different graphs, and 3 of them are related in that one would be F, one would be F prime, and one would be F double prime. And they need to pick those out, and there's all kinds of bells and whistles. And I guess we'll put a pointer to it on the website so people can see it.
Yeah, we're this close to being able to have just pictures. And so WebWorks sets the problem up. Sage goes through and creates all the pictures. And then a JavaScript goes through and lets you push them around. And so there's no text needed, almost.
Almost.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
Wolfram
So
Alpha hopefully can't do it.
Homework without words.
There's no formulas, no formulas. Right?
Ah,
For them.
I see. So you're trying to make a problem that Wolfram Alpha can't be used for. Nice. Okay.
And I also worked in cleaning up some rubric Sage problems, and then also Sage on my machine. I built it yesterday and have been tweaking with it a little bit. And then working on a couple other projects, one of them with Sage Math Cloud too.
Cool.
I took a look at John Travis's examples and looked at some of the plotting capabilities. Also was figuring out what issues our entity would have in hosting an internal Sage server, and trying to make sure that when we go to install it hosted, that we won't run into any unknowns. And then doing some bug fixes and some of my own work, I guess.
Awesome.
I keep learning HA proxy and currently I understand almost everything in the Sage cell configuration. So I started trying to improve it.
Okay. Chris?
I've been, last hour or so or two, I've been debugging some web applications in Sage Math Cloud. Particularly hosting some of your JavaScript locally in your Sage Math Cloud instance. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay. Sharon?
Well, last night we had the PI dinner. This morning, most of the morning on a conference call. But then I got here and I made a lot more progress XMLifying the document I'm trying to XMLify. So getting a hang of Rob's new favorite editor, which is, at least for XML, is also my new favorite editor.
Cool. Are you talking about Sublime too?
Yes.
Okay.
I love the fact that you can do, the GUI search and replace allows regular expressions.
Hmm.
It's really easy to do rather complicated transformations without having to remember how set works.
Nice. Okay.
So I've been working on projects for my book Sage for Undergraduates, and today I learned about Pucell's law and arteries and how when they clog, bad things happen. So that's finished, and I just dove into the linear algebra trick where you use matrices to balance chemical equations. So trying to hit each of the sciences.
Nice. So what you said projects, are these like extended homework problems or things that students are expected to spend?
Weekend.
Okay.
So not like a semester project, but much more than a homework problem.
Are they scattered throughout the book, or is there a whole chapter of projects, or
It's
how do you?
chapter 2.
Cool. It's called projects.
Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty neat. I like it at the beginning. Cool. All right, Travis.
All right, I've finally managed to at least go through all the thematic tutorials at least once, and I've made most of my changes and done a lot of cleanup with that. Now I'm doing some additions with some of the newer features that have been implemented in Sage since anyone pretty much last time decided to look at any of these thematic tutorials, and hoping to finish that up today, and been helping a couple other people out along the way.
Cool. All right, that's everybody? Okay, done.